Hello, SourceFed. I'm Ben again. This is my review of Jeff Who Lives at Home for the SourceFed Movie Club. Quick review. Jeff is a guy who lives at home. He's wondering what his life is supposed to be about. He's looking for his destiny. He's not looking very hard. Kind of just wants to have a sign lead him to where he's going. He and his brother get themselves into lots of interesting situations throughout. I think it's one day that the movie takes place in, and it makes for a pretty good movie. Jeff's played by Jason Segel. His brother's played by that one guy that I don't remember his name. And yeah, those are, I think, the only two people I recognized. I thought it was a pretty good movie. It's kind of an indie movie. I don't know that it is worth rewatching, but I enjoyed it the first time. Very slow moving in the first part of the movie. There's a lot of content regarding whether or not things are preordained in your life. What do you think about predestination, about destiny? Actually, pretty interesting stuff. I think actually SourceFed, didn't you guys just kind of talk about this in one of your table talks recently? Pretty interesting. Anyway, his brother, Jason Segel's brother, is completely the opposite. He's definitely, if you want to live a good life, you gotta seize it yourself. It's all about what you do. So he goes and buys a Porsche Boxster, gets drunk, or half drunk, and then crashes it into a tree in front of just a bunch of people. Not the brightest move for someone who's already half intoxicated. And then you see throughout the movie, it's basically this chain of Jeff, Jason Segel, of him being made fun of and trying to figure out what is going on and what he's supposed to be doing, and his brother making stupid decisions. We find out Jeff's brother, his wife, is very unhappy in their relationship. There's no clue as to why. Jeff's brother is really not acting courteously or nicely. I mean, he buys a Porsche, doesn't tell his wife, even though he knows she's not going to like it. She really wants a divorce, and Jeff is really there for his brother, spying on his brother's wife, his sister-in-law, and her potential date at the restaurant, trying to bribe the hostess to let him sit there, and there's a bit of awkward, just, oh, I would hate to be in that situation kind of humor, not a ton. I think Jason Segel actually did a great job acting in this movie. He really seems like the kind of person that you just expect there. You know, he just has the big teddy bear personality. He walks, or he can act like he's walking, I don't know which is true, just a little off kilter, like he's not quite got his balance together. He's just a huge guy, you know, but very friendly, and his very soft face. Not really, he doesn't look like a jock. He looks like a guy that you'd want to get to know. Back to the review of the movie. The story is basically the intertwining of three stories. It's the story of Jeff's brother and his wife. It's the story of Jeff's mom and her really wanting to be with someone who gets her. It's the story of Jeff and him trying to find himself. The story of the mom is actually pretty interesting. His mom she's working in an office. She has a computer, you know, she types and whatever, and she gets this secret admirer who works with her and wants to hang out with her. It ends up being a woman. There's a little bit of awkward scene where you're not quite sure if the other woman is lesbian or bi, or she doesn't care. It ends up being pretty platonic. They just want to be crazy and they want to be friends. I liked it. I thought it was pretty well written. I actually got the idea of a kiss as a symbol and not as a physical action in that scene under the sprinklers, so good for them. Jeff is actually, through his following of these signs that he keeps seeing all day, he actually ends up being in the right place several times. He finds his brother, helps him out, he finds his mom. Yeah, and at the end of the movie, everyone's stuck on a bridge. There's been a car accident farther up the bridge between Baton Rouge and Louisiana and oh shoot, New Orleans, and there's been a car wreck, and a car has been knocked off the bridge and is in the water, starting to sink, and Jeff, just completely unprovoked, just full, no hesitation whatsoever, he just sprints from his taxi, quarter-mile up the road, up the bridge, to this where this car is, and he just dives into the water to save the people in the car. That was great. That was like definitely the right culmination of Jeff's character, what he's been looking for, and where the story has been leading, although you couldn't really tell that it was leading there. And then the less expected events after that are Jeff goes down, he saves two girls from the back seat of the car, and now the car, there's air escaping from it, so now it's sinking. It's not floating anymore. But the dad is still in the car, apparently unconscious or something. He can't get out. Jeff goes back underwater, frees the dad, and is then he starts to drown. He gets stuck down there. He's lost some blood. They say later he broke the window with his hand. You can see him with a wrap on, I think it's his right hand, where he got cut up. And Jeff's brother runs up to the bridge, where he's been talking with his wife and his mom and just kind of having this big reconciliation. He runs up to the bridge, and he's actually gone from absolutely hating Jeff in the morning, feeling sorry for him in the afternoon, or actually the other way around, feeling sorry for him in the morning, hating him in the afternoon, to just couldn't live without him. And Jeff's brother jumps into the water to save Jeff. And you have this great reconciliation where he barely saves Jeff. He's just gasping when Jeff is pulled onto the Coast Guard boat, just so hoping that Jeff can make it and still be alive. And a great picture of this journey from who he was to reconciliation with his brother. Some other key points on the movie for you. It's definitely a slow movie. I didn't think the first half was very interesting. I laughed out loud a few times, but I laugh out loud on a lot of stuff. I liked the second half of the movie much better. It was interesting. It was definitely slowly written, but it's that kind of movie. I think the plot fit. The music was decent. I liked how it went with the movie. I thought the music and the pace of the movie went very well together. I don't think the movie was assuming. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. You could definitely tell that it was kind of an indie, make-you-think movie, and it was going to run slow. And then I think they did a good job. You know, it wasn't, they weren't trying to make a blockbuster, and they didn't, and they knew they weren't going to get one. And that's what you have. You have a movie that doesn't think too highly of itself, that actually flows and has human interaction. Actually, I was laughing during the part where Jeff and his brother are fighting in the cemetery. I don't really fight with my brother, but if we did fight, that's exactly what it would sound like. Yeah, I thought that was well written. Just very real. You get real pain, real joy, real confusion, and wanting to know what is going on in your life. So, I'll give the movie 3.5 out of 5. I said earlier I probably wouldn't watch it again, but if someone wants to watch it, I'll definitely watch it with them. I definitely don't hate the movie. It is slow, but it's got good content, and in the end, and she's asked him to fix this cabinet slat. Anyway, at the very end of the movie, he's got his bandaged hand. He's just finished watching the news story on him saving the people from the car. And then he goes and he picks up the wood glue and he does something about his life. He makes a conscious choice to do. And I thought it was great. It seemed like everyone really learned their lesson, but it didn't seem in like a preachy way or like a happily ever after way. It just kind of seemed like naturally woven stories. Yeah, pretty good movie. 3.5 out of 5, and yeah, hope the rest of the reviews go well. I don't think I'd recommend it to anyone unless they really wanted to think. It's a pretty short movie, so I guess you're not going to waste a bunch of your time if you don't like it. It's only 83 minutes. My wife and I enjoyed it. We watched it last night, and yeah, I'll see you next time.